Spencer Vieira, and Spencer is a former athlete that played here, and his brother is currently on the roster, and he has stepped away from his professional career to amateur it up with us today here, and we're glad to have him. For Game On Sports, we are bringing you another broadcast, and this is fantastic. It's great to have Auburn in here. They started the season 1-4, and the Horned Frogs are 1-1. And Spencer, how do you think this thing matches up?
Man, I think this is going to be a close game. Auburn lost by 3 goals yesterday to A&M, but I think these boys from Fort Worth, from that little town, look pretty excited to defend it.
Yeah, both these teams are fired up. I mean, Auburn, you know, that's kind of like picking a fight, having to come out here and take on A&M and then road trip up here, and especially with TCU coming off winning the Lone Star Alliance last year and making a little bit of hay in the national playoffs. It's, you know, that's kind of a bar fight to take on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was talking to Coach Purcell before the game, and he said these guys still got a chip on their shoulder. They don't care who won last year, who won the year before. You know, they're going to come out hot and firing and ready to go.
Yeah, you got to like that. You got to like any time they're competitive. Now TCU steps down with Carter Schubert out of the pipes today, and we're going to see how this face-off goes. And Auburn picks up the ball, pressed into their offensive zone. Big 44 in there. Dominic Anachirico. And Auburn works into X, looking to exploit a lane. These two squads are pretty much just going to feel each other out for the most part, don't you think?
Yeah, this first possession, they kind of just want to hold the ball for a little bit, see where the matchups are. Auburn's looking for a short stick, and they got it right here. They're going to go.
Auburn took that shot down the lane, just got exploited, and you know, Blake Martin just kind of pulled that foot out and kicked that thing wide. Auburn will come in here on the end line. We'll get everything reset here, waiting on the shot clock. Kind of the demise of every lacrosse program is the shot clock.
You got that right.
The shot clock does the best of men in. It's tough for us. We've got to know where the heck it is and get a camera on it a lot of times we can. And Jason Gustin steps back in. He's the official today. He's going to make sure that everything kind of works right. We got Ivan Isaac. Ivan is a DFW favorite out here. And then Wilson, look, he was in traffic. I don't know if he's here yet. The officials, with the start of lacrosse season, these officials are spread way thin. They are far and wide over the Metroplex, and to get a crew like we've got in here today with Jason, Ivan, and Wilson is a testament to what to the way that TCU is thought of as far as college lacrosse here in the area. And you're looking at your screen on your laptop, on your interwebs, or what have you, and you are looking at TCU Lacrosse here from TCU. And no, it's not your imagination. A soccer game has not broken out. We are just kind of waiting on officials. We will get it underway here shortly. And we're off. And Auburn's going to work up the near side. And as Spencer was saying, they're just kind of feeling each other out, trying to find something that they can build on the next possession down.
There we go. He's going to take Billy here. Billy Niles, 17.
And Martin out on a clean clear, and TCU rolls into the offensive zone with Harrison going back in through X. They're going to set up back up top, feed Lundy after they get their subs, get everything exactly the way they want it. You had Meach in there pressuring Lundy. Lundy feeds over to Middleton. Middleton down the side, back up top to Ethan Griffin. TCU opts to just kind of let things settle out on the perimeter. Spencer, Auburn's ride, nice shot by Lockman. Spencer, Auburn's ride is really, they just kind of settle in the middle and put big bodies on you.
Yeah, that was sort of a weird one, right? Because it was such a quick turnover. No one really had time to get settled into their ride or clear.
Yeah, they have stymied. They have stymied the Frogs, and we have a possession change on the shot clock violation. Meach will bring up for Auburn. Turns loose on the press defense.
Great ride.
And Grayson Waithman on the ground ball pickup, keeping TCU in the offensive zone. TCU will set up again. And Spencer, that transition game will kill you if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, we got a flag down.
So we'll get this settled down. We got a looked like a slash. So you were saying about the transition.
That's what killed them against A&M, was they were so good on transition. So I'm sure Coach Purcell did some work with them this week on making sure defense stays on the field and doesn't give them that free opportunity like they did against A&M.
Yeah, now you guys work out, what, 3 times a week, right? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the adjustments really, you got to be really focused down, and that's where coaching comes in, especially on the MCLA level. You just don't have the amount of time to focus and tinker.
That's exactly right. Like, we'll see.
Nice shot from Will Shepard. Just ripped that thing.
Goal. There we go.
And the Frogs pick up a quick goal. That was kind of a dribbler, and that's one of those shots that where the goalie just if he makes the save, it's not in the back of the pipes, but all you've done is really extend the possession.
That's right, and that 1-2 Hayden Lundy, just an expert on the crease at making sure he gets those rebounds.
Frogs pick up the ground ball off the face, roll in through transition. They'll set. Waithman feeds over to Shepard. Shepard looking for a lane, almost gets his pocket picked, and Auburn on the ground ball clear looking for the clear. Going the long way, getting sloppy.
The missile.
Minette rolls in, just picks the thing up on the midfield and just rolls in and just takes advantage of that reset by Auburn.
And that's why they call him the missile. Colin, the missile Minette. Quick, speedy. Defense never saw it coming.
Yeah, he's a hard kid to pick up. He's quick, and he's got really, really fast hands. I mean, he rested that ground ball and just took off, and it's hard to catch up to these guys. And Holla comes up with that feed.
Oh, Josh Harrison, great pickoff. Could smell that one coming.
Yeah, Harrison just settled into that lane and got his stick up and
just did a great job of watching the offensive player's eyes. Now we got a settled possession for TCU here. They're going to take their time. They really shouldn't be trying to go at it right away.
No, and being, you know, you're up 2-0 in the first quarter. You had that luxury of time, and you kind of have to force Auburn into an uncomfortable situation. So you obviously want to do that through matchup.
Yeah, and it looks like the missile here is going to be taking on 44 on Auburn in a second, just wasting a little time, taking your breath. But it looks like he's going to be going here. Drew the double, move it. Hopefully that backside will be open if he goes here.
Yeah, Wells kind of had to resettle on the pass, couldn't really get down and exploit the lane. Frogs back in through the backside again. Down to the end line, back up top. Comes O'Connell.
And that should reset the shot clock.
O'Connell had to take a little forced pressure from Anna Chikiro. By the looks of that kid, he doesn't miss leg day much.
No, he does not.
Lovato trying to clear. Takes one right at the midline from Reed O'Connell, giving him some business on the clear.
Got to make him pay for that one, right? If he's going to try to run it up, you don't let him do that for free.
There's little prices we pay all game long out here.
Yes, sir. Oh, beautiful.
Vetsnik with a nice ding-a-ling strip on the check there. Came down hard on it, cleared it right, got it right down his feet, picked it up, rolls down in the offensive zone. Finally turns it over, and then hustles back.
Gives it to the quarterback. Lundy's so great about getting open when those guys are down there and sort of just controlling the offense.
Yeah, and I mean that plays back to that, you know, that practice thing is the chemistry. Does it develop early or do you you're not going to see it this early?
Yeah, I think that chemistry is something that comes later down the season, especially when we start doing away trips. Oh, great move. Especially on those away trips, you're flying, you're traveling, staying in hotels. That chemistry is going to come in their first big long away trip. They'll really start to get close, especially when we have the road trip karaoke for the freshmen. When they start singing, everyone gets close.
What's a favorite? What's a crowd favorite?
Sweet Caroline is always a go-to.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Little Neil Diamond, huh?
Don't Stop Believing. Who doesn't love Journey? Come on.
They were outsourced, you know. Steve Perry was outsourced. And Dwight Ware steps in for Auburn, comes off the bench and just picks that thing up at midline, trying to set it, and it just under pressure.
Running for his life here. That's going to be should be over and back. It looks like the refs must have missed it on that one, but that kid running for his life.
I mean, I don't see 2020. I saw that.
I don't blame him. That man, Grayson, is a bad man. You get rid of the ball when he's in front of you.
Shot wide. And from what I've seen, Martin has just he stood his ground in the goal. We're not missing a beat.
Former Division I goalie from Wagner. You know, he's got the confidence. He's got it. Oh,
we're gonna call play on here.
There we go. Kind of snuck away with one there.
Wilson picks up the ground ball. into Martin. Martin forces up for the clean clear. Frog set on offense. We're gonna get our adjustments in here through the box. Will Gambrell out here on the wing.
Gives him the pull. That's going to give Matthew Lockman a short pull.
Zach Jones with the bull rush check and just kind of gave it up on into the D end.
Be ready for number 3 on the backside. They're going to try to get him that ball and let him go to work on 44 after Ethan does his dodge here.
Probably giving up about 30 pounds there on that one. Just couldn't work fast enough. Had Lundy streaking down the lane and just looking for a quick one-timer, just right into the pocket and then into the net, and just didn't work out. Ana Chirico in. Getting set in his schedule for leg day. Set up wide. Auburn not opting to really kind of circle. They kind of work one side back against the other.
Here we go, and this is the matchup. 4 is going to try to take 15 here. Or set a pick. Yep, he's going to go down.
He's got Carter feeding down in to Hain. Hain back in through X. Nice stop. Nice stop from the Frog defense.
Excellent clear. You can tell they worked this week on clearing and riding.
Yeah, I honestly think if you could win that transition game, you're at least a goal or two up on any opponent.
Totally. If you can have a good, smooth transition. More importantly, when you fail a clear like that, it gives you another possession, or it gives the other vice versa, the other team a possession. So it's so important to be good in that clearing and riding.
Yeah, just the deflect goal just makes me crazy because really, all you're making is a 50-50 ball. Then you got to battle for that ground ball, and then reset your transition, and it just gives you headaches. Colin Manette, they're coming through the backside, just trying to sneak one past, get right in that corner with the backhand, and. He just didn't clear the goal line extended.
Lundy with a good take there, got double teamed, still went for it. Gotta love to see that grit. Doing a good job of backing it up as well on offense.
Yeah, now Spencer, you're down in there. You draw a double. You're not looking for an open man. You're looking at the goal face now. Whereas you draw a double, you draw a double in through X or out on the perimeter. Then you're looking for an open man.
Exactly, and it depends a lot too on how close you are to the goal. Like Lundy there could just kind of sneak it in if he needed to, but this kid's gonna.
Where that kid's wicked fast. He's handy with
22, yeah.
Athletic, picks up ground balls, rolls into transition, and just takes off.
I thought he was gonna get caught there with Traeger and one of the other short stick D-middies. He did a great job of getting out of there in Auburn.
That's the other thing that Coach Purcell does a great deal of. We saw more last season. We haven't seen, with the beginning of this season, haven't seen a lot, but he has a lot of tools in the box over there. And he's got D-middies, and he has a lot of specialty position guys that he can call on.
Totally, and that just makes it so much easier, right? When a midi can just focus on defense and a midi can just focus on offense and one can just focus on facing off. Makes it way easier for the guys to do your job when you've got fewer jobs. Also helps save the legs. Like the offense is ready to go because they took a break. There we go.
He popped that in top shelf, and you hate to see that because Blake Martin was set up perfect. He gave him he gave him that one shot and unfortunately beat him on the one opportunity he really gave him. And
yeah, and it seems like Auburn, the Auburn offensive player, did a great job of using his own man as a screen. So when it comes off that back, it's really hard for the goalie to see it. Kind of like in hockey, how they use screens. It's really difficult to track, especially on a gray day like this.
Right, and in any closer, it's almost like a look away dodge, where you look someplace else and you pop it in up top.
TCU, good job of stopping the break there. Had a quick fast break, but we were able to hold it. Traeger, 21, captain, did a great job of slow playing that.
And again, forces Auburn back out to the perimeter. I mean, Auburn seems very comfortable, out up top. They're getting their shots off and able to take advantage, even being out on the perimeter.
You can't let that one slide inside like that. Great pass. Way to have his head up on a swivel. Crease man was just left open, a little too open there.
Yeah, and as they closed in, they were looking for a slide that really kind of came late, and that opened that shot up.
Yeah, I think on that last possession when they shot it from outside like that, they're thinking, okay, maybe we need to go early, maybe we need to go late. Puts a little doubt in your defensive timing, and then left that two-man on the backside open. So great awareness on the offense there.
And again, the cruelest of games. You score a goal, you just giving up a goal, and then you got to go and win a face-off. And TCU's gone on a run here where they haven't really been that that prolific at the X, and just have unfortunately given possession to Auburn. Auburn goes to work out on the perimeter again.
Got caught with his head turned on that one again.
Yeah, they're working side to side, so they're keeping the goalie on his toes. He's got to, as you said, keep his head on a swivel, but he's got to work side to side, and you just can't catch up when they're playing that perimeter game and forcing you to do that, especially when you're waiting on defense.
Totally, and the defense just can't let someone cut right on the crease like that. Like, you gotta, if they're gonna throw that pass, you gotta make them pay for it, not let them get that.
And there's Kavanaugh with a win. Maybe this will stem the tide. And we have the Aaron. Oh nope, that was your quarter. So here from Texas Christian University, we have TCU playing Auburn University, and Auburn is up 3-2 after one. Spencer, I mean, pretty much what you were expecting when you showed up here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew this was going to be a dog fight, bar fight. It was going to be a close one. TCU, game of runs. They went up too fast, and Auburn responding well. We'll see what Coach Purcell cooks up here at the end of the quarter to try to tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm TCU, I'm not concerned. I mean, the game, there's still a lot of lacrosse to play. So you just want to make those small adjustments and stop giving up those quick goals. And that's what's gotten them. That's where it got where Auburn surpassed TCU in the latter part of the first quarter was just those two quick scores, and it's really just kind of sloppy. Not sloppy defense, but really not cohesive defense.
Totally. Again, you can't let those guys open on the crease and let them make those passes. You got to make them pay for it when they throw it to the inside, not let those in. So I think coming out here, that's probably what they're talking about, the defensive side. Keep your head on a swivel, no backdoor cutters. I think they're gonna want to try to tighten that up. Offensively, I thought they were playing pretty well in the first part of that quarter. I think coach right now is probably saying we need to get the ball moving a little more, and we need to get people moving off ball like Auburn is. Auburn's doing a great job of having those cutters come on the back door, and TCU needs to do the same thing. We're kind of seeing double teams, which is great, but then once that double team comes, you need to be able to move it quick to the backside. And the double team is coming, but we need to work on moving that ball faster.
Yeah, the double, I mean, the double hasn't really affected TCU that much. They haven't drawn doubles out on the perimeter. You know, they are getting them into the shot range where they're drawing doubles, and then at that point you're just kind of you're like a shark. You roll your head back and your eyes back in your head, and you got to go for the goal.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh bring down for the Frogs. They'll reset over to Lockman. Lockman to Gambrell. Down to Shepard. And the Frogs opting to stay up.
Gambrell likes this. He's going to take that kid to the house all day. Missed pass.
Lockman down in the corner. Pulls it up unclean. Still kind of kicking it around. And the Frogs finally settle it. Gambrell had his man beat, just couldn't get his hips turned around to drop that thing in, and just was really right on Morgan, goalie. Morgan just really didn't have to move.
Yeah, great dodge, just couldn't get that last piece sorted out of getting his hips turned and ready to fire.
And Pastuzzi for Auburn just really kind of got locked up down here on the transition end. It turns the thing right over to the Frogs, and they're full head of steam right back at him again. With Wells, Lundy wide.
Lundy's got the matchup here. He really likes 2-9, got the short stick. May swing it around once, but I think this is where they're going to go. Lundy's such a dominant dodger. We'll see. He'll draw that double quick, and let's see if he's able to move it or get a shot off.
Yeah, Minutes. The other thing is Minutes down there creeping around in through X. That's a guy you got to keep your eye on.
Totally.
Unfortunate turnover for the Frogs. Auburn rolls up here. Pastuzzi looking to clear. Over to Anachirico, sets up wide. He'll come off. Auburn to reset. Lobato overfeeds Price. Price just kind of places it in as they got the Frog goalie out of position again.
Another transition. So Jack Huey coming on late there. Whoever was holding that box needs to be a little quicker because he left that guy on the backside just wide open.
Yeah, and again that whole not really that straight ahead offensive attack that you're looking for. They're really kind of getting them on the left to right and just taking advantage on the adjustments really.
Yeah. They are taking what they're given.
Sometimes that's all you can do. As the great Huey Lewis said it. Frogs with a shot. Lundy with a stretched out shot in there again, right on the Auburn keeper. Really no need to move. And again, another one right through the 5-hole, and got him down when he was playing up.
There you go, Will Shepard, Bedford, New York, putting one between the goalie's legs.
He probably thinks this weather is like Miami or
Yeah,
something.
he's thought I saw him wearing flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt on his way to the field today for warm-ups.
Yeah, those guys they're not right. It is. It says it's 51. It's a breezy 51. It's a Santa Claus breezy 51.
Yes,
this
it
thing's
is.
right out of the North Pole. Although it's a south wind. It is cold here. It's breezy. And the Frogs pick up on the hold and roll on down into the offensive zone. Frogs back up top with Ethan Griffin.
Matt Lockman with a matchup here. I wonder if they spot that out and they switch. Now giving Hayden Lundy the matchup. I think Hayden Lundy's probably going to be going from X here.
Gambrell wide for the Frogs. Nice over the shoulder behind the back pass there. Just a little too hot to handle. And the Frogs have to reset on that offense. Our apologies, we don't really know what the shot clock's doing. We got 21 seconds left here in the second. From TCU, this is Game On Sports. TCU down 3-4 to Auburn. And we got a clock turnover. My man Ivan Isaacs out there orchestrating it from the center, telling us what it's all about. Karanka clears. Kind of rushed for Auburn.
Another transition goal there.
Chesley just had that kind of right where he wanted. Just had to go down. Had one man to clear, not really even beat, and get down into that lane and pop that thing wide. And unfortunately, Blake Martin unable to catch up to it. Just kind of back there left naked a little bit in the crease. And obviously TCU, that's one thing they'll focus on here in less than a minute. Little sloppy play from the Tigers here, and they'll turn over. TCU comes down the near side. Lundy with the clear.
Making
in the
it look
offensive
easy.
zone. Oh yeah, beating the double up. Nothing to do but shake your head on that. Frogs will bring Lockman in. Lockman in on the far side. In on the pipes. Another reject goal. Frogs retain possession.
Double team him, missed pass.
And a Chirico on the clear. Comes down just eating checks like cereal. Just gobbling it up, taking pressure all the way down, and just really looking to fast break into the back of the crease, and kind of turned it loose a little bit wide. And Auburn will have an opportunity to reset here. Frogs as well on defense. Frogs deny the lane. Auburn rolls in through X. Looking for Jones here on this far side. He's like a 7-11. He's open all the time over here. Frogs really don't address him. And the Frogs are off to the race with Gambrell on the clear. Gets it down in the offensive zone. Coach Purcell's going to reset here. Run back in here with Mason Wills. And Auburn opting for a breather. So Spencer, okay, Auburn came in here yesterday, and I say yesterday, it came in here. They played Texas in College Station, drove in here. What's these road trips? How extensive are these road trips? I mean, you have MCLA teams that get in their own cars. These guys are, they've been busting around. How tough is it to go night to night?
Man, it is not easy, especially when you're a student, right? Because you still got class and other.
Hold on, whoa, hang on, back up. You guys go to class?
Believe it or not, some of us do. Yeah.
Wow.
We still gotta,
hang on, moms and dads, they go to class.
Yeah. So usually for a weekend trip like this, you'd have Coach Purcell or Coach email your professors, let you know on Friday, hey, we're going to be dipping out early. Leave around 6 a.m., 5:30 to get wherever you need to be for that day. And if you're a team like Auburn, you're spending the entire day in the bus, right? So you are stiff when you come off that bus. You're sleeping in hotels. And then not to mention just the battle and wear of practice during the week and then having 2 back-to-back games like that on a Saturday, Sunday. It is not easy. So the fact Auburn is coming out with so much fight is just pretty impressive considering, all the busing they've been having to do, sleeping in the hotels. The guys, when they're all hanging out like that, a lot of them aren't going to bed till pretty late. So it's impressive when out firing.
Well, and they took a tight loss to A&M last night and spent the night in College Station. So by the time I got to Fort Worth, I'd be good and hot under the collar too. So
yeah.
they came out with some energy. We'll say that. Nobody's really stepping. Neither squad's really giving any ground. I mean, we're looking at a 3-5 goal game, and by lacrosse standards, that's tight.
Yeah, that's pretty close. And both teams have done a good job of putting long poles on some of their best offensive players. So anytime you see number 3, Matt Lockman, he's a high scorer, he'll almost always have a long pole on him. And it looks like Auburn slipped into a zone here, into a zone defense. So probably what we're going to see is TCU passing the ball a little bit more and some wheels, meaning one player will bring the ball and drag the ball up and drag another player. Looking for skip passes too.
So let's talk about the skip shot. That rolled into vogue like 2 years ago, the old skip shot.
The bouncer.
Everybody loves the bouncer.
Of course, especially on grass like this where it's not turf. Turf, the goalies can kind of predict it a little bit, but on grass, they never know. We don't know how it's going to bounce, so the goalies certainly don't know how it's going to bounce.
There's Will Shepard with some great defense down through the transition zone. Almost got a backdoor rake check there.
Yeah, by John Bush. Phenomenal athlete there. John Bush, number 11, our LSM. Switches off with Grayson. He's going to be coming in on who's checking number 6, who seems to be their best offensive scorer, and locking him down.
Now, Coach Purcell has an awful lot of California kids. You're a Cali kid, too.
I am. Yes, I am. San Diego.
Yeah, so Bush rolls out of Newport. Nice save. Well, stop. We'll get it clear here.
Looks like goalie interference there. You can't touch the goalie. And Bush is going to be here on a fast break. Auburn was not ready for it. And they're going to slow play it if they can get this ball back. Ooh.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was an opportunity that they probably want back because they were really honestly looking one pass away from rocking that thing back into the pipes.
Totally. They're going to want that one back. And it's been a lot of little mistakes for TCU. Sam Ferguson with a nasty fake there from the big boy.
That was nice.
6'3", 240. You're not pushing him out of bounds.
We're not going to call offsides. We're not calling
it. There it goes.
There we go. We're not calling anything today.
Number 9 going into the naughty box.
My man Isaac Isaac's on top of it.
And TCU takes advantage.
See, and that's how fast the game can be. So you got a penalty, you just pop one in the back of the net, and now you're going to go man up.
Anything can happen.
See?
Anything can happen. And great play there by 43, Sam Ferg, the junior. Excellent job staying tough, not letting number 9 push him out.
Well, I don't. You're not pushing that kid anywhere.
No, sir. When he runs, you get off the tracks.
Yeah. I think if you're going to push him, it'd be like those Philly fans dumping a car over last week.
It take around 7 or 8 of them.
7 or 8 of them. You got to get under. You got to get under him and lift.
Leverage. You need some leverage. Is what you need on that boy.
I mean, because he's a couple of biscuits shy, just like a tackle.
Another fast break here. Let's see if they can capitalize. Shot wide.
Shot wide. Andrew Wilson there on that shot, and it looks like he just kind of hung in the pocket a little bit on that. Just didn't get his hips wide enough, and it went on his toe side on the top part of the goal out. Fortunately, TCU retains possession coming in, and TCU's back up top here with Mason Wells, and they're gonna set up here and take advantage of the whole 90 seconds.
Totally, and you got that short stick up there. You're gonna want to take him. The other short stick's on the wing. Looks like with the missile call and the missile meant over there. So they're gonna be looking at those guys.
Anna Chirico for Auburn just denying the lane.
Ooh. Good shot, Mason Wells, man. Coming off an ACL injury last year. Kid's tough as nails.
Yeah, I mean he got down the lane and got his hips through the corner and got a clean shot, just a little wide. I mean, and you heard the pipes rocking.
Here comes the missile. And they're going to let him go to work up top.
He's just kind of one of these guys that you kind of look at him and you go, okay, no big deal, and then he's past you.
And then he's past you. You're looking at the back of his feet. Here we go.
He's going to work here down the lane for the Frogs. Colin Minute out of Connecticut. Another kid that probably loves the weather. Frogs turn over in the offensive zone down through X. And Auburn opts for the aggressive clear. TCU looks to be catching up a little bit on transition.
Josh Harrison putting one on 13.
That was a little cup check.
There you go, using the force on him.
Kind of got him buckled a little bit. Labato setting up top for Auburn. Again, looks to exploit the lane. Feeds into Tanner Price coming in through the backside. He breaks goal line extended and had that thing right at his feet. Just had to put it in low and just kind of looked away. Blake Martin just had to catch up to it. And, Auburn looks to be kind of setting the ground here. Number 13, Braden Haynes, still feeling the effects of that last TCU possession. And Auburn goes up 4-6. We have a procedure call on the face-off, and Auburn gets possession.
Ooh.
Auburn sets up high out on the perimeter. And again, TCU opts to close in on the crease and kind of give Auburn room to operate. Kind of lets them make their mistakes.
Ooh, 14 with a little side punch in there. Refs didn't see that one.
Grayson Withman on the pressure for the Horned Frogs. And we got a clock violation here. The violation is the clock's not working. And we're underway. Auburn up top. Over to Hain. Feeding into Lincoln. Back up to Diedrichs.
Good defense there.
Yeah, TCU's kind of shutting these lanes down for him and really kind of forcing them. I don't know if Auburn's really opting for the perimeter. Again with that, it's pretty much the same setup as the previous goal.
Yeah, just that attackman coming in from the wing and catching the defense, looking at the ball instead of having their head on a swivel there. So that's the second one that was exact same play. So hopefully they'll get a handle on that one.
Yeah, and as I was talking, TCU is really, they're not really pressuring out on the perimeter, and you would hope that closing in on the crease would kind of keep those goals away from it, and they turn right around and give up 2 of them. Auburn up 7-4. Here at John Justin Athletic Center on the campus of Texas Christian University. And procedure call, and Auburn retains possession. Zach Jones out wide. Feeds Tanner Price, who basically came up with the last 2 goals in through that wing.
He's a sneaky guy.
Oh man, as soon as he cleared goal line extended, it was Church.
Wow, hat trick right then and there in
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes. That guy is sneaky. Those are the guys I always hated to guard, those little quick guys. It's hard to get a body on them.
Well, he's not little. He's built like a beer can is what he's built like. That's a stocky kid. But he basically came in and crossed and then just kind of backed off his line a little bit and gave himself a little bit of space. And you got to be right on him, or at least account for him.
Yeah. Ooh. TCU lucked out there.
Errant pass on that setup, and TCU's going to pull it in here just south of the midfield. Lots of time to set up. Down the far side, Ethan Griffin goes to work for the Frogs. And TCU opts to work on the perimeter on the outside, looking for matchups.
And it looks like Will Gambrell's going to go here against the short stick. Good take, just wide.
Now, Spencer, I mean, you're looking for matchups. How many times are you going to pass it around to set up those matchups? As long as it takes?
I mean, we got the shot clock, so a lot of the times we find that matchup and then we immediately set up and go, like Will Gambrell did just there. So he's got a matchup right now. He's going to let it fly. But when you see that short stick in front of you, you are green to go and try to draw that double team or put one in the back of the net. Trips over his own feet.
Those gopher holes will get you. And Auburn wants that back. They want that possession back. They are pressuring the Horned Frogs. I mean, you roll off a double into another double. They want the ball back.
Yeah, and I'm sure that didn't feel good, especially in this cold. Oof. Fighting doubles in the cold was never, ever fun.
And as we're pulling down here at the end of the first half, the horn sounds, and you got Auburn up 8-4 here from John Justin Athletic Center. And Spencer, it's like we said, it was reachable for the Frogs there in the opening part of the second quarter. It just went to Hades in a hand bucket really quick for the home faithful, and that's just how quick it is, isn't it?
That's just how quick it is. Auburn is doing such a great job of exploiting those backsides, those quick. As soon as the defense turns their head, they're cutting. Makes it real hard on the defense. And the goalie, I mean, you can't expect the goalie to stop those on the front door. There's no shot. So defense has really got to keep their head on a swivel.
Yeah, and you need that defense. You need that slide to pick up that man in through the goal line extended, and they're just not really even aware of number 9 Tanner Price in there. Just rolling with a hat trick in about a minute.
Yeah, he is just playing out of his mind, Tanner Price.
Well, and he's one of these guys that you got to account for, and he's kind of. Auburn has weapons that they just it's kind of like a cooking. You spice it up over here and you spice it up over there, but you're not gonna hit them with a complete look down of here's everything we got. You're not going to show your hand.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say either team is completely dominant in terms of ability, but man, Auburn just playing so much better and really looking for those backdoors. I don't think there's anyone who's necessarily more athletic on either side of the ball, anyone that stands out, but just being able to pass the ball around. Auburn looks really crisp in their passing.
Yeah, that's the one thing to see that early in the season is that crisp passing and the execution on the right. A lot of times the chemistry doesn't come along till later on, as we talked about earlier. But you got to look at the way that Auburn's winning the game. You say physically and ability wise, Spencer, these guys are all matched up fairly easy. And I would say the latter part of that second period is just it just went down 4 goals because of energy and execution a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think too it's always great indicators the ground ball battle. So you can look at the ground balls and who's winning the ground balls, and that'll kind of tell you who's putting in a little more effort and who's got a little more dog in them. And I think in that second quarter, definitely Auburn was winning that ground ball battle, whereas I think TCU probably won the ground ball battle in that first quarter.
Yeah, I think TCU came out and was a lot more confident in the first quarter. They got down a couple of goals, but it was still well within reach. And this thing, by no stretch of the imagination, is it over with or out. So, I look for a great second half. I think TCU makes a couple of adjustments. Maybe they get their head right with it and come out. And I think just really energy and hustle will tell the tale here in the second half.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a game of runs.
Hey. You try and stop those extensions that you're giving up, and you can shut them down. And we're going to step away here for Game On Sports here in the first half. At the end of the first half, we have Auburn up 8-4 over your TCU Horned Frogs. And as I said, we're going to step away. We'll come back here for the second half here in about 6 or so minutes, and we will be back here shortly for Game On Sports. I'm Jim Dixon, along with me, Spencer Vieira, and we are looking forward to a second half. And here we're back on the campus of Texas Christian University for the second half of the Auburn University Tigers coming in here to take on your TCU Horned Frogs. And the first half just kind of got out of hand into the second period, but the Frogs are down 4-8 to Auburn. Auburn just created a bunch of space for themselves at the latter part of the second half and really not off of anything in particular. Along with me, Spencer Vieira. And Spencer, what'd you see in the second half that we were talking about during break?
Yeah, I think that defense is going to tighten up here. No more of those backdoor cuts is what TCU is going to be trying to do, and keeping an eye on number 9 on Auburn, making sure he's not getting into the crease and getting those free goals, right? Other thing, transition defense, making sure that our substitutions are going smoothly and quick.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it. I mean, TCU is down 4-8, but I mean, one possession and then the hat trick from Tanner Price just really resulted in, other than that, we could have had a tie game. And Auburn gets possession here to start the second half. Still unable to clear. And they get it down. Brandon Hain picks up the ground ball as they roll into the offensive zone. And Blake Martin in chase down to the end line. TCU gets possession and rolls into the offensive zone here off the clear. And this could be dangerous, and it was. Off the pole on the wing side, kind of got crossed up, and 77 Thomas Hudekar, he picked up that ground ball and just headed right into the crease. And Spencer, you hate to see that.
Yeah, he headed straight to the bank. I mean, he's going to make that 10 times out of 10 when you give him an open goal, a one-on-one with a goalie like that. So can't be getting too flashy on those clears, right? Like, just hit the open man and do what you need to do. But JT Macedo fighting it out on the X right now. Oh.
TCU with the ground ball win.
Number 50, a little brotherly love here. Christian Vieira with a good GB.
Christian Vieira. Christian is the younger brother of Spencer, who is stepping away from his professional life to come in here and be a amateur quasi/professional broadcaster here for the day with us. And you'll have Spencer with you tomorrow, too. He's just setting up shop here. He'll be with Heckma Harrison tomorrow for the TCU game. Who are they playing?
They're playing Purdue, so they're coming from out of town as well.
The Boilermakers will be in town.
Yes, they will.
Griffin there with a clean clear off his man and got loose just right down the lane and unloaded it.
Yeah, that's a connection you want to see. Number 1, Ethan Griffin, such a quick, fast dodger. It's almost impossible to get a good hold of him. And then having that Matthew Lockman, a pretty excellent finisher on the crease there, that's going to be the connection they are going to look for all second half if they can get it.
Well, and then, again, a game of adjustments, and really TCU hasn't put it together in long enough spurts to force Auburn to really have to adjust too much. And we talked about this again. Both teams, that was really, I would kind of consider that a transition goal.
Totally. Yeah, that was something quick, fast. Don't give the defense time to set up and figure out what's going on and take them by the throat while they're not paying attention. So great job and great awareness there by Ethan.
Yeah, and both teams are just kind of, that's how they're scoring. They're not really setting up sustained possessions and scoring off of that. The pass game kind of goes into it, but it's really not resulting in a lot of offensive potency.
That's exactly right. Those quick, the settled one-on-one has not really been working out, but the quick transition running into a double team here. Let's see if he can put something in.
Yeah, Shepard drew the double and just really was on the goal face and just really wanted to finish the shot instead of looking back out to reset. And that's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't, right, Spencer?
Totally. When you're that close, you got to show a little bit of that Will Shepard New York toughness to try to put it in the back of the net.
Frog set up wide. What are they looking to exploit here?
So they've got a short stick on a short stick, and Brady Middleton's probably got a foot on that guy. So what you're trying to do is draw that double team like he did and get it to the backside. Lundy doing a great job of just being a nightmare on that crease. Oh, and the Frogs luck out there, get the ball back. And that should reset the shot clock and give them another 60 seconds to dance around, figure out where their matchup is. And I would not be surprised if they go back and try to dodge on that number 12 or, yep, right here with the missile once again. Ooh.
Minute couldn't get loose from his man. Goes into another ground ball situation, and we're 50-50 on this on indoor ground balls. And we talked about the intestinal fortitude on that and just who wants to get it. And it looked like in the first half, TCU, in the first period, TCU won a lot of ground balls. And in the second period, really not so much.
Yeah, and again, it's coming back at halftime with a 50-50 ground ball fight. So we'll see as the quarter rolls on who kind of wins these ground balls. But TCU's looking like they're coming out hot. I don't know if Miss Purcell said something to Mr. Purcell and got him fired up at halftime or what's going on, but. And it looks like number 4 is stuck on defense. That's usually an offensive midi for Auburn, so they're going to try to exploit that. Number 9 is going to set the pick.
Yeah, Kavanaugh was looking to take advantage of that and really just couldn't take advantage, and they set it back in through X and came back out the backside. Set back up here with Ethan Griffin. Ethan Griffin's kind of been stirring the drinks here.
Yes, he has. He's quick. He's shifty. He's hard to keep a body on. 44, a great D midi. Kind of gets him in the helmet, gets away with one there. Ooh, and Lundy was wide open.
Yeah, now Lundy has to reverse and transition for that ground ball. And now TCU's exploited on the conversion for Auburn.
And it looks like Will Gambrell took someone out on the Auburn side on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, and as a goalie, you hate to see those poles come down and shoot because that thing comes off with just a little bit more force and speed.
And it's hard to track, right, when it's coming up from up high like that. It makes Blake Martin's job real difficult. The LSM did a great job of throwing that fake and making him turn.
Yeah, you really got to put a body on him and just kind of disrupt the shot.
Totally.
Lencioni up wide for Auburn.
Great save.
Lobato down there trying to force the issue, and TCU stands their ground with a great save. See if they can right the clear here.
There we go. And Lundy coming across, being that outlet. Someone the guys really trust. I know last year playing with the team, the guys really trust Lundy with the ball. He's someone you can put the ball in, and you know it's not going to be a turnover. He'll be able to hold it and wait for everyone to get into their position, so valuable.
Yeah, now Spencer, okay, so there's 10 guys on the field, and you have transition games, you have specialties. How much does Coach Purcell involve every person in this game?
Yeah, he tries to get everyone on as they can, right? And maybe some of that's why we've had problems with transition. That much substituting can get a little confusing, but you really want your defensive middies out there with the short sticks because that is such a hard position to play, is that short stick D midi. So he's trying to get the guys on that he can, and it looks like he's got his offense out right now.
But we talked about it earlier, just how many tools in the toolbox, and how you can kind of remake your team on the fly to take advantage of what they're going to give you.
Yeah, and really only the attack. Oh, great goal! Wow, Reed.
Yeah, Reed O'Connell. He fought off a decent ride, got clear of his man, picked up a second, not really a double, just rolled into two single plays, got clear from them, and just got his right hander or got his left hander in, and really not not a strong shot, but hey, it's in the back of the net.
It's in the back. And Reed O'Connell, last year, 2 years ago, I took a shot from that kid to the shins, and a single tear nearly fell down my eye. He shoots it hard with that left hand.
Yeah, he couldn't get his leverage on it, but he put what he needed to on it, put it in the back of the net. And the Frogs crawling back in this thing 6-9 to Auburn in here from a long road trip playing at College Station last night and here in Fort Worth against TCU today. And we've talked about what a student athlete has to face with that, and they have definitely righted the ship on that and have played solid for the most part, other than just a minute or two in the first period, but have played strong all game and paying dividends on the scoreboard, up 6-9.
Oh, my gosh. Blake Martin out of his mind with that stop and then a perfect outlet pass.
Just an aggressive clear, just went for it, and you got to love that. It forces the hand of Auburn on transition, and the Frogs roll back into the into the offensive zone with Moncrief overfeeding. I can't see his number. I think it's Storer. Storer sets up on the wing with his Beyonce one-leg exposed deal going.
It's the style these days.
Is that the style?
That is the style. I can't say I was ever a part of it, but
I don't know. There's certain styles that work and others that don't. And that's a style.
That is a style.
Oh, errant pass by the Frogs.
Let's see if they can fight here for this ground ball.
First kind of chippy series we've seen all game today. A little emotion there, and you got to like that. And TCU turns over on possession. And boy, you're hearing it from the Auburn bench. They are laying out the business.
Yeah, and Reed's going to want to get a piece of him there.
Ware comes down, draws some defense.
Interesting flag there.
Jason Gustin on the flag. Our officiating crew today is Jason Gustin, Ivan Isaac, and Wilson Look.
Blake Martin. Can't say his name enough.
That's textbook. He was set up. He read the eyes. He saw what he had to do. He stepped into it. And just right on the stick, and good clean stop, and we have a penalty, and it'll be assessed here with Jack Storr over there exhibiting his fashion sense in the box. Shot wide. Martin again on it, really kind of, just kind of pressing the shot, making sure it didn't go in. Total goal awareness.
Total, and Sam Ferg making him pay for that one there.
Again, another stop, an aggressive clear. Unfortunately, really, okay, and we're.
Another questionable referee call there. TCU's not going to like that. It was a loose ball push.
We're going to look away from the lowered head in the whole 9 yards. A nice stop from Martin. Again, stepping out.
Grayson showing his wheels. He's about to get tough here.
And you got to like that. Grayson Withman.
Guy's a dog. Guy's a dog. He's a workhorse.
He was just rolling. He was looking for contact.
He was. He's hungry for it. The guy is tough as nails.
resets, goes to get a breather, and the Frogs reset the offense, and Stores out of the box now, up loose up top, setting it up for the Frogs.
See if that leg sleeve can bring him some good luck. He's got the matchup here with the short stick. He doesn't really like it. He's going to move it probably.
He kind of he looked like he set up like he was going to go inside, came back outside after he switched his hand, still retained, runs through X, forces his man back up, and kind of stirred the Auburn defense a bit.
Yeah, kind of left him questioning. We got Will Gambrell here. Oh, that was a good take. Goalie was all over it though.
Got an Auburn player, Ethan Pastuzzi, down in the crease. And he is in some pain. I didn't see the hit. I think it was.
Looks like he might have taken that shot.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that shot got a little wide. The goalie came out. It seemed like it popped up loose, and I thought it was down on the goalie's shin.
Man, in this weather, not fun.
Can't pay me. Can't pay me enough. That's like okay, Knight and Loose Darrett or that.
Yeah.
Give me jail. And looks like Pastuzzi's up. Got the helmet off, heading over.
On his own 2 feet.
Catch a breather. You gotta like that.
Gotta love it.
Gotta like that. We're going to reset here.
Kind of a disadvantage for Auburn there. Gives TCU a chance to get their defense out on the field, prepare and get ready for the ride. And it looks like they're doing a 3-man front with the attack. And Auburn sneaky, hiding someone in the box.
That 1 foot check in. Of course, it's number 9, Tanner Price. Price going wide for Auburn, back up top. Oh. They suck it back in. Looks like Auburn's opting to play from the back. Good hustle possession from TCU.
Jack Huey, number 15. I can't say it enough. That kid is a grinder. He works so hard. Phenomenal athlete. Defensive midi.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to know about halftime is on the end line, there was 3 Frogs chasing that thing out.
Yeah, they are hungry for this. They are not happy that they're coming in. And a great little pull-up help. Number 42, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson came backside, and we heard, you could hear that thing pop the back of the stick and just reset it.
Yeah, and when you have those attackmen that are helping clear, it makes the defensive job so much easier when they're getting open like that.
And TCU's opting up top, looking for something to set up, and they're rolling into the zone here. They're going to shut – that lane got shut down by Auburn. Great defense from them. Again, forced out.
Mason Wells trying to put some – ooh, just wide. Good take.
Wells, that was a nice shot. Number 34, Craig Morgan, was on that.
Another take backed up by the missile. They're long pulling him now. They're not letting the missile free.
And Morgan again on that. Not only is he one of the great country crooners of all time, but an excellent goalie. And possession change with the clock running out. And TCU down 6-9 to Auburn with just under a minute and a half left here in the third period. Morgan brings up for Auburn. Backs off, does a the old goalie step back. And TCU pressing the entire length of the field, knowing possessions are the key at this point.
Oh, great job by Traeger. He kind of sniffed that one coming. And a great clear, Blake Martin. I can't stop saying his name.
Yeah, Martin with another great clear. Rolls into, just beats him on the transition game here.
Oh, and B. Niles, nasty B. Niles.
Billy Niles on the pop from about 20 feet out. And again, bringing back into vogue the bouncer. The 20-foot bouncer bringing the Frogs back up a goal. Down 7-9. And we're going to get a face-off here and see if TCU can transition this thing within a goal.
Game of runs, if they can keep that momentum going. Oh.
Just under a minute left. And Auburn, there was a Auburn release prior to possession call, and TCU will get the possession back. That's how valuable it is. We're going to call a timeout, set this thing up for the last 40 seconds. And on those scrums, when that thing's rolling around, Spencer, you really got to be cognizant of what where you are on the field, what's your next move, and it's kind of like shaking up a box of BBs.
Yeah, and when you're in those scrums, you think about two things. First one, getting the ball, right? And then the second thing is, once I get this ball, how am I going to get them off me? Where am I going to run to? How do I get into that open space? Because if you just kind of run with your head down, you're going to get triple teamed. It's going to go right back to the ground. So being able to be cognizant, a lot of the times those deep holes will kick it out or smack it out to another player because it's just too difficult in those scrums with that long pole to come out with it.
Right, yeah. I mean, a pole in that situation, a pole is really not an opposition. He's really an impediment.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just trying to keep you from getting it.
Totally. He's trying to keep you from getting it and then hopefully put it in space so he can go get it.
Right.
Because there's not a whole lot of opportunity there for a long pole to be able to get that ball and run to space.
Well, and TCU in that situation, you got guys like Ethan Griffin and the Missile and these other cats that are just cruising around like they're human Porsches. And if you can get that thing loose to them in space, you can spin this thing on a dime.
Yeah, totally. Most important though is just keeping that ball safe, right?
Yeah.
Getting it out, making sure that you retain that possession, especially on a big ground ball there where it's such a close game.
Okay, and Auburn rolls in the offensive zone here with 40 seconds left, up 7-9. With Game On Sports here from John Justin Athletic Center on the campus of Texas Christian University. And Auburn beat their one man. And Miles Labato just unloaded about 7 feet over the goal.
TCU bench letting them know that was a little wide there. Letting them know.
Got a flag down.
And they're going to hold possession here most likely and take it into the fourth quarter. So they will start with a man up and most likely start with the ball. Or not.
No.
Dicey move.
And time has run out. We'll get this sorted out on who's got possession and assess the penalty as we roll into the fourth period. And again, from John Justin Athletic Center on the campus of Texas Christian University, I'm Jim Dixon, along with me, Spencer Vieira. Spencer's stepping in for the weekend to give us some inside expertise as to what's going on, because frankly, it's lacrosse and I really don't understand it. It's confusing to me.
It's confusing to me too.
Yeah, it's confusing to a lot of people.
What's going on out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I've called a lot of high school games. It's confusing to those parents. We'll just say it's like church.
Yeah.
It's like church. Many attend, few understand.
Very few. Yep. Fall into that category there.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's been a great game, and to have be rolling in the fourth period with TCU down 2. I mean, this thing by no stretch of the imagination is it in either court. And Auburn, I would say the third period's been kind of a draw.
Yeah, definitely. I think TCU might have come out a little bit on top. They came out firing in comparison to that second quarter that they had, the end of the first half. I think they've kind of come out with a little more swagger, a little more aggression. Might have won the ground ball battle there a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say it's pretty much a draw. In this last fourth quarter, what we're going to need to see from TCU is just that continued grit and just to level it up just a little bit more to put some more pressure on Auburn. I would love to see the defense come out and force them to make turnovers, force them to make dumb decisions. And then on that offensive side for TCU, just keeping up with dodging and being able to move it a little faster.
Yeah, TCU's got to apply pressure. I mean, every square inch of this field. I mean, they gotta put pressure on Auburn and really force the issue and not result in or not regress back into these backdoor scores that you're giving up. And Auburn rolls into their offensive zone here. They're going to be man up with like Joshua Harrison.
Joshua Harrison in the dark side in the naughty box.
Over there feeling it out for, I think, 30 seconds. I didn't see the assessment. And the Frogs turn it over. Or Frogs pick it up on the ground ball turnover. And Frogs roll in the offensive zone with Matthew Lockman. Kind of drew a double and stymied his guys and looking to get loose here. Gets clear on the double, right down the lane, sets up wide, feeds into Lundy, and Lundy puts just lowers the boom on Craig Morgan down on his wickets and just puts it down on his feet.
He told me he was going to have a game today before this game, and I think in this fourth quarter, told me he was doing it for Hank Lundy out in Long Island. He told me to shout him out. So there you go, Hank Lundy on Long Island. Hayden is going to have a fourth quarter for you.
Playing for the guy in Long Island, Hank Lundy. Gotta love that.
Gotta.
Hopefully he's watching on his interwebs.
There you go.
Hey.
Logged in.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Logged in on his Game On. Watching it for the weekend. And Auburn with the pickup here on the face-off. Jordan Klesley rolls into the offensive zone, and Auburn sets after they make the adjustments.
Joseph Kavanaugh doing a great job of hustling into the box there. And they are back to all even as well.
Great poke check from TCU. Auburn thought they had a lane. That got shut down on the defensive slide. Dodge and shot wide. Auburn retains possession. Nick Kraus brings in on through X.
And they're going to take another go at number 9 here.
Lobato up top. Shot clock, we're unaware, but should be short on time. Shot over the goal face. And shot clock violation, TCU possession. And TCU clears into the offensive zone. Jake Vednick, freshman defenseman, rolls in and checks back into the defensive zone as TCU subs their offense in, opting for a more shooter approach to attack, don't you think?
Yeah, they're putting their guys in, their hot shots. And they're just looking for that matchup right now. And what it looks like, it's going to be EJ, Ethan Griffin from up top, or possibly Will Gambrell here.
So they'll just stir the gumbo till they get what they want and then take their shot.
Exactly, and Will Gambrell is going to try to body his way through.
Gambrell got loose and just backed up, got his man off his hands where he could unload it. Went wide side.
Kind of doing that big man in the paint approach there.
Yeah.
Back him in, and he's going to have that matchup again. Let's see if he double attacks. Store just eating up checks. Wow.
Shot right at the game clock and good for the Frogs. Even us up 9-9 here at John Justin Athletic Center. Game On Sports proud to bring you that goal, bringing that 9-9. Spencer Vieira with me. How do you think about that?
Hank Lundy is cheering somewhere in Long Island right now.
No, he's not. He's shoveling snow. He's shoveling snow with it. He's got, you know what? He's got his interwebs hooked up on the snow shovel.
Yeah.
Like a monitor.
Kind of got his iPad set up.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Just playing tough D.
Oh, and the late flag from the ref.
There was at least concurrence because there was two out there. Ivan and Jason Gustin sit down and talk about it, see if they called the same penalty.
Number 3, probably Matthew Lockman. When someone that big, he's 6'3", 215, 6'4".
Yeah, you don't get away with anything.
No.
You're 6'3". You never get out of the kitchen with the cookie jar.
No.
They always know you're there.
They can tell. They can hear his footsteps. That's his problem.
Size 13's clapping on the floor. Auburn sets up, man up, with Lockman over in the box. Auburn looking to spin the field and take advantage of that goal line. Extended, opened up. And
do I have to say his name again?
Yeah, say it.
Blake Martin.
Go and say it.
First career start for the Frogs. Puts him on a – there we go, and it's in the quarterback's hands. They're just going to sit this one out. Relax till that penalty clears.
And I'll say this, it wasn't on pipes, but you got to know that's smart to just make that one step out and get the possession, knowing that you're going to get it clean in the stick and knowing that you have transition on your side. Very heady move out of the goalkeeper. And we're knotted at 9-9 with 10:31 remaining here in the fourth period. We're Game On Sports. I'm Jim Dixon. Spencer Vieira in here with me. And Spencer, we got us a whole new ball game now.
It is a whole different ball game from what it was at halftime. I don't know what Coach Purcell told them at halftime, but they are fired up and ready to go.
I mean, I didn't see anybody kicking rocks on the way out of the halftime huddle.
No, head up, cheering, letting them know it's not that easy when you come to Fort Worth.
No. It's I don't know. TCU, they host a pretty nice event out here. This is an excellent field from what we've seen, for Lone Star Alliance action and there's a lot to do in Fort Worth, a lot of distractions, and Auburn knew that. They stayed in College Station where it's boring, and they opted to stay in there. They didn't stop at Buc-ee's on the way back. they came in town. They came into Fort Worth, and they were ready for business.
Now, that could have been the difference makers. Not stopping at Buc-ee's is a bad omen.
I don't know if the stop or the non-stop. I don't know. I don't know.
We always stop at Buc-ee's. You got to stop at Buc-ee's.
What's Coach Purcell's he's getting busy over there.
He's drawing something up. He's got something in his mind.
He's over there talking, hatching it out. Okay, as the sun comes out, now the 51 seems kind of warm. Okay, TCU's setting up here, and they're gonna work the clock a little bit and see what they can exploit out of the Auburn defense. Working the perimeter.
A little sloppy passing, but they're keeping it together.
And again, they come out and they are putting the guns out there on the field.
Freshman Will Shepard showing them some New York swagger.
He just pulled it out. He had to shake it off and tell everybody where he's from. So that he just popped. He got that thing in his stick, and it was in his stick for the shortest time period, and he just lowered the boom.
From 1 second it was getting passed to him, and the next it was in the back of the net.
Yep. And the Frogs step up 10-9 here in the fourth period with just under 10 minutes left from the campus at TCU. And Game On Sports is bringing you some weekend action of TCU Horned Frog Lacrosse. We have Auburn in here today for this. Auburn down 10-9 with the errant clear. And tomorrow we'll host Purdue. The Boilermakers will roll into town.
Wow, with a nasty move there by number 2.
Took his little poke on the way by. Tanner Price giving him some business.
And that's a hat trick for Hayden Lundy right there.
Yep, Lundy popping it in. You gotta like that. He just really he came up and just kind of set his feet, got the thing in, and just popped it into the back of the net. And they have Craig Morgan kind of guessing. Morgan kind of had his way in the second period, kind of really was setting the tone. And when you're a goalie and you let a couple past you start kind of thinking about what's going on a little bit.
Yeah, the Auburn goalie playing lights out in that first 3 quarters, not letting a whole lot in, but
yeah, they have Morgan. Unfortunately for Auburn, they have Morgan guessing a little bit. TCU is just pressing on every possession. They intend to win the entire field, and they're not giving an inch.
No, make it uncomfortable for them, especially in these final minutes.
Oh yeah, you got momentum on your side.
You keep the gas pedal down, 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 down. Looks like Auburn's going to try to slow it down here for a sec.
Well, and Spencer, is that really to kind of catch a breather? Is that just trying to break the momentum?
You want to break that momentum, get set up in your offense, but TCU's been scoring on those quick kind of transition goals that Auburn was originally scoring on. So right now they want to slow down the game and not make it so fast-paced, right? Take a breath, relax. It's 2 goals. We got a lot of time.
Traeger Kennard on just an outstanding stop on the goal line extended. They were trying to exploit the lane, and he just lowered the boom and forced Auburn back outside.
He is a bad man.
If TCU could clear it, that'd be an outstanding measure.
Ooh, ref is not happy with the audience right now.
Unhappy. Andrew Wilson checking out. kind of got his bean rattled there a little bit. And TCU rolls into the offensive zone, and they're gonna set up and again go at it with the guns again as they trot Matthew Lockman back out
with that Willie Gambrell, and Ethan Griffin, the shifty boy. He's got Willie G and Ethan both have the short stick, so it's just a kind of a matter of who wants it, but they're going to slow it down as well here.
Well, and is it really that, or is it really who's going to give you the best opportunity? I mean, I think when you with Parcells putting that many tools out there, you got to kind of be guessing it. And Craig Morgan, he's sitting there in the pipes, and he's just, he unfortunately is kind of doubting what's going on this fourth period.
Yeah. Any of these guys are weapons that are running onto the field, right? But there's definitely some you want dodging more than others. Oh, great take by Ethan Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin got his man clear, and not the best shot, but a solid shot. I mean, I think he would have opted to not have a man draped on him, but taking the shot regardless.
Yeah, especially with the shot clock winding down like that, you kind of need to just hit the goalie or anything around the goal to reset it.
And Auburn with the penalty clear here on the possession change, resetting the clock. And again, Auburn slowing down. Spencer, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a smart move. You want to slow this down a little bit and give your defense a rest. And Jack Huey playing great defense again. Number 15, the guy is just a freak of nature. And they've caught Lockman on defense, so they're going to try to
kind of a series of unforced errors there from Auburn, and Sam Ferguson doing a great job about keeping that thing in play.
And they've got a fast break here. Let's see if he'll take it.
Vetsnick get it settled his feet, and Auburn and TCU rolls into the wing.
26, Jack Storer with a little California swagger on that one.
Storer just kind of stepped up to get clear, and got that thing. Just really all he had to do was just get it in the back of his stick and get his hips clear, and he just popped it top shelf on Craig Morgan. And again, Morgan just really kind of doubting what's going on, and it's not really him. He's just really kind of been exposed with the Auburn defense really just being opened up.
Yeah, and I would expect to see a Auburn timeout here pretty soon.
We got a lot of bench chirping over there going.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna slow down things here. Jason Guston and Ivan. Ivan's a DFW favorite as far as officiating goes.
Our Cowboy ref.
Hey, if you can't Cowboy ref, you can't ref.
That's right. Not in DFW.
No. If Yellowstone had a lacrosse team,
he would be the ref out there.
They would hire Ivan
yep.
to ref the game.
The Rip, or John Dutton, if you will, of the refereeing game out here.
Yes.
Not to be messed with.
No, not at all. You can't trifle with them. And TCU on a sloppy series of passes.
Kind of gets away with an offsides there again.
Well, you got to here it comes. You got to kind of count bodies and
looks like they threw the flag. They
threw the flag, and you're already offside, so go down and play.
Yeah, let's see if Lockman can play some defense here. He did a great job on the last defensive run. And he's just going to sit in the crease and make sure nobody goes backdoor. A really smart move when you're up by 3 in the fourth quarter. No easy goals.
Yeah, I mean, really, the best outcome in this situation is you don't get a shot off and you force the shot clock. And we'll assess penalty. We'll assess this offsides. And for those of you watching on the interwebs, not every offsides is an offsides, because sometimes you got to count, and you may have, you may have a pole off, but you may have an attack, or you may have a midfielder back, and you just kind of roll around with it and keep going.
Totally, and that's kind of what you learn in JV, 8th grade, middle school, is how to do those substitutions. So it's quick, but it's second nature for a lot of these guys. They know exactly how to substitute and where to keep people.
Well, and who's who and where they're supposed to be.
Yep.
And Zach Jones again getting clear from the wing. Picked that thing up and just had a nice little lane waiting on the slide, or with an open slide from TCU, just really not picking him up. And TCU's really got to kind of answer for that thing on that perimeter, on those wings. And again, this thing, we've enjoyed a little series of TCU momentum, but this is not out of hand by any stretch.
No, it's never over till the fat lady sings.
And Auburn with a quick win, down by 2 goals. Auburn will set up here up top. They'll roll in with Hudson Carter. Carter feeds Zach Jones. Zach Jones been making hay in through the end line, through the goal line extended today. And again, Tanner Price out on the wing, and they've finally taken an accounting for him and forced him to a ground ball. And again, say his name. Go ahead, say it.
Blake Martin.
Blake Martin with with a ground ball sweep, and you gotta like that great sense to keep his back foot in the crease, come out, extend his body, pick up the, stymie the ball, and he is the only guy on the field that can kill the ball like that, and took full advantage of it, raking it into the crease for the clear.
Now this guy is not playing like it's his first career start, that's for sure.
No, it's far from his first rodeo. We talk about we talked about this extensively during the MCLA tournament or the LSA tournament, and the level of play. There are kids out here that can play D1.
Yeah, Blake Martin being one of them, who transferred from a D1 school. A lot of these kids were committed before they decided to come play for TCU.
Yeah, I mean, and the talent level is outstanding at this club level of college lacrosse, and there are teams that you look at and nice shot and save for Auburn. And Craig Morgan again with the clear, see if he can get this thing into the offensive zone. Anna Chirico. And a pass in on Matthew Lockman. Lockman got his leg in the way of that thing, and there's a lot of bone and fiber in that lower leg that's just gonna, on a cold day, just rattle your cage. And you hate to see these guys go down like that. It's one of those things. It's just errant. It's a pass. It's a pass, and you're doing what you can to keep it in your zone, and you'll put the body on it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sell out, but never fun to see someone hurt on either team.
Well, and we've had 2 of these today, and there's Auburn player in the crease, and he's been back out. We're going to reset our clock here, and but you don't like seeing it. You don't like seeing these kids get in the way of these passes and taking shots. The sacrifice on the cold day is that's what kills you. But you're not baking inside your helmet.
Yeah, and it did give TCU a chance to put their defensive personnel out there. So we'll see if they can hold them here. 2 minutes left, down by 2.
Zach Jones sets up for Auburn here on the wing. Auburn with an errant pass on the wing. TCU win on the, well, thought they had the ground ball forced out, and TCU gets possession on the force out.
Little loose ball push there.
Gotta like that athleticism from the goalie. Up with the long clear, forcing the transition game. TCU backs into the corner. Andrew Wilson out there plying his craft. Wilson clears his man, goes in through X, gets a turnaround, goal line extended, couldn't get his hips through, and just shot over the top of the goal.
Coach Purcell with a pretty good timeout there to slow it down for a second.
Yeah, with 1:31 left, you definitely want to set it, and you want to value every possession. At this point in the game, with what you've done in the fourth quarter, you don't want to get cavalier.
No, and smart decision with the 1:30, right? Because it gives you 60 seconds to chew off the clock. You take that penalty, and then you have the Auburn is left with 30 seconds to try to put two in the back of the net. So what they're probably going to do here is give whoever is their fastest player the ball and let him run in circles, whoever's their best ball handler. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lundy ends up picking up the ball, if Lockman's feeling better, possibly Matt Lockman. Even the Missile could make an appearance on that ball.
Roll Griffin out there. I mean,
E.J. Griffin, another good one.
you could go over there and flip coins, and there's plenty of guys to run around and hold possession.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, so Auburn, I'm pretty sure, is probably going to come out with a double team. Probably take the goalie. Could try to take the goalie off the crease. We'll see. But they need that ball back as fast as possible. So.
Yeah. They need a quick transition, that transition's got to be lightning fast into the offensive zone.
Yeah, they have no time to mess around. Yep, sounds like Lockman's going to go pick up the ball. And they are just going to let that boy run.
Yeah, you kind of want to opt for a bigger body in that, and even if you're giving up a little bit of speed, you want to opt for a bigger body just because you're going to draw a double and you're going to take checks.
Yeah, and it's cold. So today is not the day to take the checks. Oh, and it looks like they actually have Mason Wells on the ball, so they're just going to let him run in a circle, and the goalie comes off. And they're going to reset the shot clock there off that pipe.
Storr out on the wing. Going to probably roll through backside here. And Auburn on possession on the out of bounds. And Auburn call for a ward. TCU on possession. Rolls back in the offensive zone with a fresh shot clock. And they'll just draw the double. Shepard loose. Blake Martin.
And it's getting a little chippy out there. Auburn is not happy. 44 kind of got run over by Matt Lockman, and he wanted to let him know.
Well, and that happened right in front of us. That was, some outstanding game-on production right in front of us. We orchestrated this whole thing on this sideline. And, you got to see the contact. It's marginal with the head down.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, you kind of let them play.
You got to let the boys play. With 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, down by 2, you let the boys play.
Yeah, and it's not like it was an innocent, it's not like somebody was innocently standing there. There was contact on both sides, so you got to kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get this whole thing sorted out, and TCU will go man down. 31 seconds left, up 12-10 to Auburn here on Game On Sports. And Auburn is just, they're pressing the offense. They are just not rolling. And again, they answered the question, which is, what are you going to do on that wing? There's a push in the back uncalled. And this thing's going to get out of hand with 11 seconds left. TCU with possession. And we're back on. A little minor malfunction. The joys of setting this thing up on the fly with no electricity and all the things we have to do, you'd be amazed. But sometimes we have these little snafus. But you lost us for the last 10 seconds of this game, but it ended, and TCU comes out victorious 12-10 over the Auburn Tigers here at Texas Christian University. And for Game On Sports, Spencer Vieira has been along with me. And what did you think about that matchup?
Man, it was a good game from beginning to end. Yeah, phenomenal game. Dogfight. Both teams coming out playing really, really hard, especially in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with the energy that both squads exhibited, and really gave no ground till till TCU kind of backed off a little bit, and gave up 3 goals in a matter of like a minute 40 in the latter part of the second period to put Auburn up double 4-8 and rolling into halftime, and then. And TCU just kind of clawed into this thing, clawed into that lead in the third period, and then in the fourth quarter, you've been there before, so.
Yeah, it's just that fourth quarter grit, right? Getting those guys with their minds ready, knowing, okay, we're about to go into the hardest part of the game, but it'll be over soon, I think. The adjustments TCU made at halftime, stopping those backdoor cuts, starting to get some goals on transition, and again, I think MVP of the game, Blake Martin, putting up some crazy stops there in that second half.
Oh, for sure. That kid, he had a great game. It's not really a stand-on-your-head game. but he played smart and he played well. And just in the fourth quarter, the defense just kind of opened things up and answered. Particularly with the 30 seconds left and Tanner Price coming up through the wing, that had been a goal, three times earlier in the first half, and a shot, and Blake Martin just steps up and just plays it exactly the way you want a kid to play it.
Yeah, again, MVP in my books. Brody Cummins, goalie coach, former player as well, must be out of his mind right now, excited and happy for Blake Martin. Again, first career start for him. So,
yeah, and I was talking to Coach Purcell in the prior to the game and talking about the loss of Carter Schubert with a thumb, and he's going to be down for a couple of weeks, and honestly, I didn't miss a beat.
No, did not miss a second. I think Schubert's a great goalie, but looks like Blake's going to have no problem filling his shoes.
Yeah, and the TCU offense really kind of stepped into their own there in the second half, and really, I think putting that many guys that are threats out at the same time just really kind of opened things up, and just an outstanding adjustment from Coach Purcell.
Totally, and keeping up that passing is so helpful, right? Like we had talked, it would be that dodge, draw the double, and then there was no pass out of it to get to that next open man. And that adjustment at halftime of when you see the double, immediately move the ball and get it to the backside was there in that second half, and resulted in Lockman having a goal, Lundy having 2 goals. It was just there.
Yeah, the adjustments really opened up for him, and a great game today. Look forward to another great game tomorrow. Auburn heads back to Auburn, Alabama, after being here in Texas for Texas A&M and now TCU, and suffering just 2 tight losses. And I still say that I don't know that it's a loss so much as they just ran out of time. But they head back. Purdue rolls in tomorrow. You're going to be here with Heckma Harrison on the call, and Game On Sports again. I think the game's at 2.
Game was moved up, so I think it's at 1 o'clock now. 12 o'clock at noon.
At noon tomorrow. Game On Sports, you will have TCU against Purdue, and TCU coming off this great win. Should be outstanding game tomorrow. But this has been a great game today. Enjoyed the time with you, Spencer Vieira, and you'll have Spencer on the call with Game On tomorrow. And this has been a great game. For Game On Sports here at Texas Christian University, you have your Horned Frogs with the win, 12-10 over Auburn, a tough Auburn squad coming in. And this has been a great game. Enjoyed it. And you have a wonderful rest of your day, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. For Game On Sports, this is Jim Dixon and Spencer Vieira.